Hi everyone. I am going to talk about different types of claims today, and this is important for the research paper because your thesis statement or your claim will fall into one of these categories. So it's important to be cognizant of the different categories and to be intentional and purposeful in which type of claim you choose for your essay. So claims typically fall into one of four categories, and depending on your topic, one type of claim may lend itself over another. So it really depends on what you're trying to investigate and what you are trying to persuade your reader of. So the first type of claim is a claim of fact or definition, and these claims argue about what the definition of something is and whether something is a settled fact. So it argues that X is Y and this is Y. So for example, what some people refer to as global warming is actually nothing more than normal long-term cycles of climate change. That would be an example of a claim of fact or definition. The next type of claim is a claim of cause and effect, and these claims argue that one person, thing, or event caused another thing or event to happen. So our example here is American hyperconsumerism has led to an increase of the production of disposable products. So this might sound familiar. The very first week of class, we talked about big box stores and the argument that we are a nation of hyper consumers. So this claim is arguing that because of our current attitudes towards consuming items or goods, that there's been an increase in the production of disposable products. The third type of claim is a claim of value, and these claim about something's worth, whether we value it or not, or how we would rate or categorize something. So for example, containing COVID-19 is the most pressing issue on which multiple government and private sectors could focus. So here we are assigning value to something, especially by our language, when we say that it's the most pressing issue that could be focused on right now. A claim of policy. These are claims that argue for or against a certain solution or policy approach to a problem. And I will say that these types of claims are much more common in research papers because we are studying social issues and you are going to be doing research on different social problems, and your claim could potentially offer some kind of call to action or a solution. So for example, instead of drilling for oil in Alaska, we should be focusing on ways to reduce oil consumption, such as researching renewable energy sources. And one way you can usually spot a claim of policy is that it usually has the word should in it. Because again, in this type of claim, you're arguing for a call of action or some kind of change to a current situation. So like I said in the beginning, the type of claim that you choose really depends on your topic and what you're trying to persuade your reader of. And as you get deeper into your research and gather more knowledge, the type of claim that you should choose will likely become clearer to you. So now let's look at some examples, and you can tell me in your head whether you think the following claims are claims of policy, factor definition, cause and effect, or value. Okay, so to ensure the accessibility of classroom materials, all instructors should complete required training on ADA compliance. What kind of claim do you think that is? That would be a claim of policy, correct? Because you are advocating that something should happen or change. So that makes it a claim of policy. This next example, increased exposure to social media has led to higher rates of depression among adolescents. What type of claim would that fall under? That would be a claim of cause and effect. While some studies show a link between the two, there are other studies that claim that other variables are at play. So I included this in here just to reiterate that this is indeed a debatable claim and not necessarily something that's already been proven. How about this one? Graffiti is an art form. Which category would this sentence fall under? So this would be a claim of fact or definition. The author will argue that graffiti is art based on specific criteria. Solar and wind power are better sources of energy than oil, gas, or coal. So this would fall under the claim of value category. So think about why you think that is. What about this sentence gives you a hint that this is a claim of value? So which claim works best for your research? Well, you really have to think about, again, what you're trying to convince your audience of. Are you trying to convince your audience or persuade your audience of the value of something or the way an issue is defined or looked at, an action that needs to be taken, or are you claiming that one thing caused another? So again, as you gather your research and increase your knowledge, hopefully the answer will become clearer to you. And just being able to view your claim through these specific lenses will help you then to organize your paper and the information that you present in a way that makes sense for you and for your audience. Thank you.